Welcome to Doors to Hope and Healing, an inside look at foster care and adoption needs in Connecticut. My name is Jacqueline Ford. I have had the honor of working for the department for close to 30 years, and although I may be familiar with many of the topics I bring to you, I have invited experts in those fields to help dispel the myths and misconceptions that often act as barriers. Join us as we open our doors to an inside look at the Department of Children and Families. Hello, welcome to Doors to Hope and Healing. Thank you, Jackie and Rebecca, for being on our show today. This segment of Doors to Hope and Healing, we're going to talk about a different way you can help our children at the Department of Children and Families. Each week we talk with our viewers about foster care and adoption and the different children that come into our system and the different ways that people can help, whether it's foster care or adoptive parents or respite providers, or maybe messengers who are helping us dispel the myths and misconceptions about foster care and adoption. But there's other ways to help, and that is by helping our kids during the holiday times and actually throughout the year. We'll be having other guests on as well, talking about how they help our kids throughout the calendar year, meeting some of the needs and the wishes that they may have that we're not able to fulfill at the department. So Jackie, I want to start with you.
Okay.
We became connected over our pets, actually.
Yes.
I was adopting a puppy from a place that you had adopted your puppy, so we connected on that. And then you had shared that you were interested in the work that I do at DCF.
Yes, initially I didn't even know you were at DCF, if you remember, and I asked you, what do you do for a living? And then you explained it to me, and I was like, boy, I think there's an opportunity for us to partner here.
So tell me a little bit about your work, where you work.
Sure. I work out of the Hartford office for Wolters Kluwer for a division called ELM Solutions. And we employ about 106 employees in that office or the surrounding area. And we are a software solutions organization. So it's enterprise legal management software is what we do. We deliver that.
Can you talk about some of the community service work that you do throughout Connecticut?
Sure. Not just we have definitely worked with Solnit for the last couple of years, and I did a year working with you directly. But we also do things with Rise for Hunger as well as Habitat for Humanity. We did some partnerships earlier in the year around with Habitat, building these like playhouses for children, and then we gave some of those playhouses when they were done for some of the foster families. So it was, this is a year-long partnership, I would say, that we would continually work with DCF and the surrounding children in the state of Connecticut.
And
which
I think
is great fun.
Our viewers can remember that we did talk about our partnership with your company and with Habitat, and they built these beautiful playhouses, every child's dream, and they were given to one of our birth moms who had been a foster child, and she was in her 30s, and then she had a family of her own. Unfortunately, had been involved with DCF for a short time, but she was one of the recipients of the playhouses. And then a foster mom was a recipient of another playhouse, and they were just so beautifully built and just a paradise for a little child to lose themselves.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for all the employees to do that. We hope to do it again in the new year.
Yeah, we look forward to our continued partnership. So our first year connecting, your company had purchased gifts for our Heart Gallery children.
Correct.
And our Heart Gallery children are a collection of pictures and stories of children who need a forever home. So you became familiar with their bios, and gifts were purchased, and we picked those up and we delivered them. And then the next year, I thought Solnit would be a great recipient for the work that you're so kind and your company is so generous to do. So Rebecca, we asked you to come today to represent Solnit. So I'm happy that you're here. We haven't talked to anyone from Solnit yet on our show, so you're our first Solnit guest.
Thank you.
Can you talk with us about Solnit, the North and the South Campus, and what type of children we service there?
So DCF has two residential and hospital facilities. So we have the South Campus that is located in Middletown, Connecticut, which part of that is inpatient hospital program, and the other side of that is a residential treatment facility for young women. And then the North Campus is where we have the residential treatment facility for the young men that DCF serves.
And how does a child find themselves placed at Solnit? Is it through an open DCF case, or are there children that are affiliated with your campuses that aren't involved with DCF?
I think the majority do have connections with DCF, although you can come in through a court order or also by a physician's emergency certificate. So definitely we have kids in crisis
that are coming in and getting, and what's the typical length of stay? Is there?
For the residential treatment facility, they'd like to keep it at about 4 months. That's kind of, the average, and then be able to move on from there. Inpatient can vary anywhere from 2 weeks to longer than that, months.
And what services do they actually receive in the hospital setting? There's an educational component?
There is an educational component. DCF has its own school district, the Unified School District 2. So when a child enters either facility, they are, all services are paid for. Education services are paid for by the Unified School District. We have teachers, we have a speech pathologist, myself, we have occupational therapy, psychology and social work that is in the school, but then also within the facility itself, there are psychiatric services, psychology, nursing, child care workers, rehabilitation staff, an occupational therapist for the hospital side as well. So it's kind of a wide variety of different services.
I know in the past the Schubert Theater has given us tickets that we given to the children at Solnit so that they can go and enjoy a play. Do they get passes out of the hospital when they're at a level where they're safe enough to leave the hospital?
They do. Depending on their mobility status, they're able to kind of do on-grounds activities or off-grounds activities. And the goal is always to take the kids into the community so that we can give them as normal an experience as possible. We want them to be able to go back and go to their home community and be successful.
And the children that are placed are through all 6 regions of DCF, and so you're in connection with the social worker staff for those children.
There's a lot of overlap between the area offices and the facilities.
Thank you. So when you talk about the community and bringing the children into the community, before we talk about the work that we're doing together with Jackie's Corporation, can you talk about other community providers who are doing things to support the kids and the staff at your hospital? Well,
in addition to Wolters Kluwer, we have this year, I believe the total is 6 different organizations who are buying specific wish lists for our kids at both facilities. Well, actually, just at South. North is slightly different. But then we also have a lot of other agencies that will, or organizations that will buy general gifts as well. So we partner with a lot of people, and that starts in September.
That's great. Where they're doing that, and getting involved with.
Right.
So let's talk about the work that you're doing, Jackie. So I know that I had connected you there, and your partnership has continued. This will be your 2nd year.
Yes.
So is there a wish list, or how are we
Rebecca will generally put together a wish list for us. We'll say, we have so many employees, we'll purchase so many gifts, right? And then she'll send the list, and we'll get communications out to the employees that this is our 2nd year with Solnit, and select. Usually, what we do is we put little tags on a tree, and we say, grab a tag, and everybody really gets into it. I mean, we make a big deal out of it in the office, and it's truly an opportunity, as well as just a really heartfelt thing, giving back to these children, giving them things that they want. We were talking about that earlier. Their needs are met, but these are things that they actually selected and wanted, and it's just a good feeling to be able to do that. And as I said, all the employees really enjoy it, and the partnership with Solnit has been great. I mean, it's becoming our regular thing for every year, and we really, truly appreciate the work that goes into this. This is for them, even to be able to coordinate all this it's a lot of work to just coordinate for each individual child, and it's greatly appreciated by everyone in the organization.
Rebecca, what goes into, finding the wishes that these children have? Are you meeting with them and asking them for a wish list?
We do. We start actually at the end of October, and we sit down with all the youth that we have at that point, and they're able to kind of, based on a pretty detailed checklist and all different types of categories, electronics, clothing, gift cards, everything, kind of go through and identify, probably their top 10 of what types of things that they would like. And then we compile that into into various spreadsheets and then kind of divide those amongst, the different organizations that we have for that particular year. And we like to get those out early November to be able to give employees, the time that they need in order to shop and get things back. So we generally ask for items to be delivered to us, or we also pick them up by the 12th, I think it is, of December this year, so that we have an opportunity, because we also wrap everything and then put everything all together in bags so that when the kids get up on Christmas morning, they have their own kind of pile of wrapped items.
If you guys need help with that,
We actually have a very large group of elves within the hospital and the residential unit. People will come over during lunchtime or during a break and will help us with wrapping gifts. But the organization of just having everything come in and sorting them, if we sent you a picture of Santa's workshop, it's pretty intense.
Oh, I bet.
It looks like a store.
Yeah.
So just so that we're able to kind of then go through with the general gifts, and sometimes with new admissions, we pick from those items as well.
And when you're talking about the spreadsheet and the gifts, how many gifts are we talking about that we're asking for your assistance
Anywhere
with?
from 60 to 70
Wow.
gifts, yeah.
And is it one gift per child or some
It's multiple. We tend to, because everything is donated, we try to keep it between about $100 and $125 per child.
Oh, that's nice.
But it could be a variety of different gifts.
And there have been, like last year, one of the kids asked for a bike, right? So the employees, 3 of them went together and went and bought the bike, put the bike together. And, some of the feedback that we got was just incredible, because this allowed this little girl to ride her bike to her grandmother's house. And it was just, those are the types of things that the employees love to hear, is that they really,
the stories
behind that,
Because it's not as if you're just contributing that generic toy to the box at a local store, which is definitely needed as well.
Right.
But this is really personalized, and it's connecting your staff with our children.
Right.
And so you develop this spreadsheet, and there's a whole bunch of requests. And how do we make sure that everything that the child is requesting, at least something, is granted?
We then go back to the spreadsheet itself. So one of our particular units may be taken by Wolters Kluwer. And so then that is designated on its own spreadsheet. They're all color coordinated back to an original list. So that when everything comes in, I then have my master sheet that I'm able to go back and go, okay, so Jane wanted this, and then everything is marked and wrapped for her.
I see. Boy, that's a big task that you do.
That's a lot of coordination.
That's a lot of coordination. And then there's a date, and are the presents delivered to the hospital, or do we pick them up? Does DCF go and pick them up?
Both. Both. It kind of depends on the organization. Sometimes we have them delivered, and other places will ask for us to go and pick them up.
And what about with your company, Jackie?
Same thing. We deliver because it's so close. I mean, we're right here in Hartford, so it's not that far. And I have to tell you a really cute story. Actually, is all the tickets were all the little slips were gone last year, and there was maybe 2 or 3 left. So I just took them and went down and bought on behalf of Wolters Kluwer. And my boss gets the receipt, and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing buying DVD players, right? Personal DVD players?" And I explained to him. He goes, "Do you need to get any more?" So it's just it's an event for us. Yeah.
And is DCF your main focus for this holiday season?
Yes. Very much so.
Wow,
and we'll do Rise for Hunger in April, so it's right around the corner for that as well.
Okay. So it's such kindness and generosity. Yeah. So Rebecca, are there any stories you can share with us about that feel on Christmas morning when these kids are getting these gifts from the different community providers who are being so generous? Do you see a light in their eyes?
I hear all of the stories afterwards, because I'm generally not there on Christmas Day. We have everything, on the units for Christmas Eve, so that they have it Christmas morning. But I love to come back from vacation and then just check in with all of them, because You know, especially if they are looking for something very specific. You know, a few years ago we had a young man who was Jewish, and the only thing he wanted was a Star of David.
Oh.
And so I went to a jewelry store, and I was very adamant that I was going to get him, you know, because that was the only thing that he wanted.
Wow.
So just to be able to, you know, provide, you know, something like that, something special for some of these kids, it's really nice.
How happy he
So-
must have been to do that. So for any of our viewers watching now, if somebody's watching and says, you know, I really want to do something special for those children at Solnit, do you have a name or an email that they can reach out to call?
There are two main people, myself and also Elaine Jackson is the other half of my brain during the holidays.
Yes, the other elf.
Exactly. So we tend to do a lot of the coordination for this particular project, and we also have other projects throughout the year. Anytime we have a new admission, they're all provided with both a welcome basket and a fleece blanket for their room to give them, you know, some comfort to help them during that transition. So we have other projects throughout the year that people can be involved with as well.
And the fleece blankets are donated from the community?
For the majority, yes. Sometimes we will buy them, and then local youth groups or different organizations will take the kits from us and make them. They're the ones that you can get at Joann Fabrics that are the tie ones. So, you know, my son's school did a project one year where they did about 20 of them, just, you know, did the cutting and the tying. So a lot of organizations will take on that for us as well, which is nice. So.
And what about the welcome baskets? What's in your welcome basket?
So welcome baskets tend to be items that they can use during their free time, but then it's also, you know, some basic hygiene items. So it could be, you know, a bottle of nice smelling shampoo or a body lotion or, you know, something like that. But playing cards, a small, you know, stuffed animal, just some comfort items to, again, help them with the transition. A lot of our kids have never been away from home before, and to, you know, be in kind of a strange place with, you know, things going on, and it's just nice to be able to provide them with that.
So is there a number that they can call to reach either you or Elaine?
So they can call the main number, which is 860-704-4000, and ask for either Becca Brown-Johnsky or Elaine Jackson.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So.
It's so nice to know that there's other ways that we can all help in the community throughout the year. So I appreciate the work you do on behalf, you know, in addition to the speech pathology that you do with the kids. This is kind of a second job for you during the holiday seasons.
It is.
And thank you, Jackie, for being on and representing your company, which has been so incredibly generous to us, and we appreciate both of you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for being here. Next, please watch a video of David, who is longing for his forever home. He is an attractive, loving, kind little boy who's looking for a family of his own.
The first thing that really struck me when I met David was his ability to smile and make the room light up. He is currently placed in a group home for children with special needs. David is often laughing, he's often smiling. He likes to go to the zoo, he likes to go bowling, he likes walking on the beach. He's currently participating in aquatherapy, and he also loves his music therapy. He can sing some nursery rhymes. You kind of hear tidbits of some Old MacDonald, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So his face kind of lights up when he hears music. So that's really nice to see. David does need consistent supervision and monitoring based on his medical needs. His vision is low, so he does have trouble at times seeing things and responding to things. He's made a lot of successes with his ability to almost eat independently. He will need assistance walking, but he is mobile. Once David knows his space and his environment, he's able to move around fairly independently. He does have ongoing contact with his maternal grandmother. He lights up, and he really looks forward to her visits. Even when she can't get here to visit all the time, she sends cards, she sends letters, so maintaining that bond is really important. David would be best matched in a family that has either 2 adult caregivers or a single adult caregiver that has some family support, some friend support. The Department of Children and Families is here to help whatever family David is matched to continue his needs both in home and out of home, and has a variety of resources available to continue that. David will never live on his own, but with the right support, the right love, the right guidance, he will certainly be able to thrive in a family. My hope is that David's family will continue to keep that smile on his face, continue to take him places that make him happy. My hope for David is happiness.
I have a story that needs to be told.
Before I was placed in foster care,
I learned through actions and inactions of others.
that I was not worthy of love,
That I was not worthy of love.
that I was not worthy of love or attention.
I learned that my needs
are not a priority.
As a result of that negativity,
I experienced insecurity.
I want to be accepted by society, but I'm unsure if I have that ability.
teach me through your actions.
teach me through your actions.
Teach me through your actions that I deserve to be cared about.
And treated well.
Don't make me feel as if I'm a burden. Remind me that I am here for a reason.
That I was brought into this life because I'm strong enough to live it.
I'm strong enough to live it.
I am strong enough to live it.
Show me that my presence is a gift.
Try
Try.
to meet me where I am at.
Give to me without expecting anything in return.
Because I may be too hurt and angry to express appreciation when you're trying to help me.
But trust that one day,
One day,
One day,
I will remember that you gave to me.
That you gave to me in this way.
can you meet me where I'm at?
Let me be sad sometimes.
give me room to mess up and make mistakes.
because mistakes are opportunities.
To learn and grow.
By forgiving me, you teach me how to forgive.
Understand, there will be times I need space from all the voices.
I think that they know what's best for me.
What's best for me.
What's best for me?
Remember that I am not a paycheck. I'm a person. Will you meet me where I'm at?
Remind me that my past
My past,
My past
Does not define me.
Does not define me.
help me learn to be helped.
Mentor my thoughts.
Encourage my ideas.
challenge my pushbacks. Laugh with me.
Cry with me.
Have fun with me.
Have trust in me.
Ask me these questions.
What are my dreams?
what is my purpose?
What are my talents?
How can I help others? Help others.
How can I help others?
Let me know that you're here to help me reach my goals.
And I will become empowered.
But first,
But first, you have to meet me where I'm at.
I long for community and to be connected.
Help me with my self-esteem.
and help with my other esteem.
Which is how I feel about and relate to others.
Show me how to see that I am needed in my community.
And the world. And see how I can make a difference.
See how I can make a difference.
See how I can make a difference.
You have this gift.
Share it with me.
Share it with me.
Share it with me.
Remember that I have lived a different life before I met you.
A life you may never understand.
I am not asking you to solve all of my problems.
Just help make sure
Just help make sure
I don't have to face my problems alone.
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 I am asking you.
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
I am asking you to meet me where I'm at.
meet me where I'm at.
Meet me